What's up, everyone? Welcome to Interviews at the Den. Today we have Apollo Fresh in the building.
What's going on, fam?
If you don't know who I am, I'm Alex. I am the owner of the Den. This is my first time ever showing my face. I'm doing this just for my dog Apollo Fresh. I'm so excited to have him here in the building.
Let's go.
So, let's start this off. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. I'm Apollo Fresh. I make music, and I have fun doing it. I like creating and evolving.
So, what got you into music?
I don't know. I was always making music, like, growing up. Like, just through school. I think the first place was, like, at home. My mother playing, like, compa music. That's where, like, the first taste of music, because that's all we played at the crib. But then, when I got to school, I was in band and stuff like that. So that's when I first started, like, really getting into music. And then I started rapping just, like, in, like, middle school, just freestyling and stuff like that. And then I started really deciding to take, like, music seriously as a career when I was, like, 15 in high school. Because I didn't want to make rap music at first. I was like, I'm not a rapper. But I could freestyle well, so everybody kept asking me to make songs. Then I made my first song. And I was like, I fell in love, and I was like, I'm doing this.
So compa was the first type of music you ever listened to?
Yes, compa was definitely the first type of music. Nah, I'm playing with you. If you play music, if you play some kind of me, I'll bust it down for you.
So what got you into rap then, if it started from compa? Because that's a whole cultural difference.
Bro, when we was in the car, when we parked somewhere like a store, like Publix, and I was old enough to sit in the car while my mom was in the store, I'll put the radio on so fast to listen to the rap channel, to like 99 Jams or like 103.5 back in the day. That's when I was like really falling in love with rap. Like I might have heard like my sister played like a rap song or two. I'm like, I need to hear more of this. And then the radio was the only place, because it was just Haitian radio every day, all day until like I had like a little bit of time in the car where I could change it. That's what started getting me into rap music. But then MTV Jams after that.
And how'd your mom feel about that?
My mom didn't care. She didn't want me listening to rap music at all. My mom didn't like. She didn't care about like the radio that much. But like when I would like find stuff like online, like I remember I was legit. I found I remember finding a DMX album, and it was just hella curse words. And I remember going upstairs, like hiding in my uncle's room, and I'm playing it, and then my uncle's like listening to the music, and then, you know, DMX is cursing and shit, and then he's like, your mom let you listen to this? I looked at him, I was like, yeah, and he's listening, he's letting me listen. He's like, nah, bro, let me get that. I was like, fuck. So, like, my mom didn't really let me listen to it, but on the radio, she was more chill about it because of the censorship.
All right, so I know your rap nowadays is, like, very anime-based. When you first started rapping, when you was 15, 16, like you just said, was it always anime, or how did you get into that whole process?
So, first, it was... When we was freestyle, we just rapping about whatever, right? But then when I decided I'm going to make music, I was just making songs that I thought sound good. But I avoided putting anime in my music for a while. I didn't even like it kind of crossed my mind, but not really, because I thought nobody would like it. And like at the time, I thought I remember thinking, because I was like, I didn't really want to make rap music at first, because I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be so much, but I knew I loved it. I was like, fuck, I gotta do this. And then because I was thinking about the industry, I'm like, bro, I was convinced like the whole industry's fake, everything's fake, everything, I don't know who's it. That's how I was viewing the world at the time, like as a teenager. And I was like, man, why do I want this? This is
It's about to get real fruity in here.
Holy shit, hell no.
Pause.
So, where was I?
Anime with the music. So you didn't want to incorporate.
I didn't want to incorporate any any anime, any music. I thought everything was fake. I was watching MTV Jams, and I saw Sir Michael Rock's.
Yeah.
I saw Sir Michael Rock's freaking music video, and I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, bruh, this guy's so extra. He's fake, whatever. Cause I see him like shot a music video like on the freaking like water, whatever, the airboat, and he had like some weird clothes on and Nerf guns, and that's him. But I was looking at him like he's trying so hard. Da 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 da. I'm like whatever. Then I fly out to LA to visit my brother, and when I visited him, I went to a store like called the Magnolia Park in Burbank to just check it out, and they hosted like radio shows, and Sir Michael Rocks was a guest that weekend. And I'm like, wasn't I just seeing this nigga on MTV Jams? I was like, all right, I'll pop by. I watched a little interview, all that, and then when he's done, I asked him like, yo, what would you like? What advice would you give to aspiring artists? Because I'm not done. I knew that he did something I didn't do. So what can you pass by on? And I'm like, and he said, oh, be yourself. Like, be yourself in your art. Like, do you 1,000%. Like, when you're creating, while you're growing, be you. And I was like, okay, that's cliche. Like, he didn't give me no tips. Like, that's how I felt about it. And so I was like, all right, thanks. And then I went after that interview. Like, after I got back to my brother's crib, I looked up his music. I was like, you know what? Let me go actually listen to his music. So I went to listen to his music, and he had a Naruto reference. And at this time, like, nobody was doing that. Like, maybe Rob Banks. I don't even know about that. I feel like that's when like Threats just came out. They had like a Pokemon reference, but like when I heard that Naruto reference in Sir Michael Rock's song, I was like, oh, he meant it. Cause I was afraid to put anime in my shit. So I was like, when I heard that, I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna start putting anime in my stuff. And then I started getting better because I was making music that really was like in my heart. So I made a song called like Orochimaru, and then that song did it really well. And I was like, okay, let me keep going. Then I made Lily Cove, and then I made Lily Cove City, and then that song was like that. I could just see me getting better as I was doing stuff that like really felt good in my heart, like really just creating. So that's when I got into anime, but I still wasn't like going like crazy. I was just creating whatever I want, and anime stuff would like pop out every now and then. And then now I really like make a lot of anime stuff because like it's fun and like the people love it, the fans love it.
So like that was around the time you started watching anime too, or you was already watching anime?
I was been watching anime. I was watching like my third birthday party was a Pokemon party. Like I always loved and was drawn to anime my whole life, but I didn't know that it was called anime until like the 5th grade. Like 4th, 5th grade, but like before then, any show that was like on TV, like Toonami or some type of shit that was like anime style, I was like, that's it right there, that's the juice. And then when I found out it was called anime, that's all I was like on the internet, like YouTube was just starting to pop, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm out here. I'm just Googling, watching everything I could find, like all through middle school, then all through high school, and then college. I only started like slowing down once I started like, all right, I gotta like evolve my mind and freaking grind and get some fucking paper in my pocket. That's why I slowed down watching as much anime, but I still watch anime.
So can you remember the order of anime since you started with Pokemon? You know what order you went to getting deeper and deeper into anime? And what was the one that like blew your mind type shit that was like just like anime's officially my shit? Because you were very, very dedicated to anime.
So damn, I think I'd say Naruto, cause Pokemon was cool. I loved Pokemon. I loved the games. I was playing all the games and stuff like that. But I saw that more as just like I loved Pokemon for the game more so than the show. And then it was Toonami playing Naruto. Like I just remember like kids don't know about this nowadays, but like when it was on TV. And you had to be there to catch the live like showing like on like a Saturday type of shit. And you had to like be there on time. Like I remember just like running to see the tuning exam like on TV. Like on Toonami, like, oh my god, like that's when I realized, when I was keeping up every week to see the story developing, that's when I was like, okay, this is GOAT tier entertainment. Cause like with cartoons, like it was always like random ass episodes. Like you could watch any episode and just like enjoy it as it is. But with anime, you can enjoy an episode, but it's a story that's really building like a deep plot, and I appreciated that shit from a young age. So, and then Naruto was like the first like long form, like where I got to keep up from the beginning. Like Dragon Ball Z, I was kind of peeping episodes here and there, but Naruto was the one first time I kept up from the first time the episode dropped. And I was like, okay, that's what like really like got me into the anime world. But then like when I got into like a deeper sector of the anime world, there was a manga called Negama, and I read that and I was like, whoa, this is different. So I started just exploring the internet. So I think Naruto made me realize like that anime is great, but there's so many different anime that's like blowing my mind more than Naruto, like along the way.
So what would you say is your top anime right now?
This is a loaded question, bro.
It's not a question you can ask.
Top. All right. Right now, I just have to give it to One Piece. The manga is going nuts. The manga, like my favorite right now. I'm gonna just say my favorite top 3. I'm not gonna say the like best, but my favorite top 3: One Piece, Dr. Stone. Yeah, Dr. Stone. And Black Clover.
Okay.
Like the mangas for those, all 3 of those, pristine.
How you feel about Boruto? I don't watch anime, but I hear a lot of people that like Boruto, but then there's also people that like deep into it that just be like, it's straight trash.
It's a good show if it wasn't trying to follow up after Naruto. It's like, alright, it's a good manga if it wasn't trying to follow up after Naruto. And show, you can kind of say that, but it's just, why did they make it so fluffy in the show? They went so hard to like fluff it up, but like the way the characters are, like they're not as like hard and like grizzled as they are in the manga. And then after that, there's so much bummy filler. It's not even like, it's just like, bro, why did you make me sit through all of this just to find out some little ass information? Like, you'll find out like something cool that you didn't like. It seemed like there's a lot of filler focused on showing you the world, how the Naruto world has transformed, but it's just like, okay, but why you had to give me this lame ass person shooting a vlog the whole episode just for me to find out that spoiler whatever. Yeah. It's just something about like Naruto, something he did in his past or something like that.
Gotcha.
So it's the manga is better because it's less fluffy, but it's not Naruto. That's all I'm gonna say.
So now we spoke about your Haitian culture and anime. Your main shit is you rap a lot about anime, but I noticed that you also don't steer away from your Haitian culture. You always find some kind of way to incorporate that into your music, which is 2 very different things.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to incorporate the 2?
Because it's me.
Or how do you do that? Like, what's the thought process to putting that together?
It's just me. It's like, you say the thought process, like, it's because I'm probably not thinking that much that it happens. But like I have like, some of it is just like, oh, it would be cool. Like a lot of my ad-libs like kind of inspired by Haitian culture. Like, like that's like, I throw that in there a lot. But like, just if I'm just making a song, like I'm really just freestyling, trying to see what's popping up in my head first and like putting it there. But I will say that it's very important for me. Like, I'm very intentional with making sure like I have Haitian flags in my videos and like have these little references and just like that I incorporate in there, even though it happens naturally, because I think people need to see that we're here. Like, I want Haitian people are so intelligent, man. Like, there's a kid probably like me that grew up Haitian, like probably was getting made fun of and shit like that, and didn't know that it's okay for him. He doesn't have to be Haitian and be somebody that's out here in a gang or something. Like he doesn't have to. He can be proud of who he is, and create whatever that it is that he wants. Like fuck all this the stigma. Like you are proud. You are worthy, and you can fill any role that is your heart's desire in society. And after that, people need to know that like shit's going on in Haiti. People need to like get some awareness that like Haiti is a beautiful country. Like Haiti is a country that like we were the first Black republic. We fought Napoleon's army and won, and then helped other countries. Like that's some real shit, and we need help too. Like it's like the awareness and just because I love it. I just love that. I love that part of me, and I love anime. So it's just like it's gonna come together, and I think that shit just looks cool. Like as a misc, like if I'm like a chemist right now, as myself as a permit, like oh like this is inside me. Like watch what happens when I do this. Isn't this cool? Like I just think it's cool because I love both of them.
So for the people that don't like know about Haitian culture and stuff like that, just like little backstories, because we in Florida, so that's a very big part of Florida.
Yeah.
But the ad lib, you want to give like a little backstory so people understand that?
Okay, so like two albums I use a lot is and Whoosh. So like in Haitian culture, like if something like happened that kind of like catch you by surprise, or somebody say something to you that's like, I don't know, just like it's mostly used like in surprise or just different shit. Like it'll come up in different situations. Like if you be like, bruh, I just came up on, I don't know, I just came up on 100 bands. Like, like what? And then like whoosh, be like whoosh. Like that could be some shit. Like if it could be like something was like fire, or it could be like something stank. It could, like I could drink this, and it could, like, let's say this is water, but let's say it was lick, right? And I take a drink from it, like whoosh, some shit like that. I don't know, or if you farted or something, you'd be like whoosh. It's like if something just like hit hard, or just like you know when a beat is hard and it make you make that ugly face, that's that energy.
Yep.
Vocalized.
And then earlier you had said, when I had to talk about thought process, you was like, I guess I'm not thinking then, or however you phrased it.
Yeah.
So when you go in the studio to make a track, it's just you having fun, or is it, like there's no process to it? It's
just having fun and how I'm feeling. So usually I just go in like trying to create what it is I feel. If I'm doing that, then those are the best songs. And then so I just do everything from like scratch, like off the top of my head. Like I might make the beat and then just like freestyle punch it in, or I just go find something on the internet. And if I find something on the internet that like a beat that matches how I feel, that's when the best songs come. So I try to do that. Sometimes it'll turn into like a journaling session, like because I'm just expressing like my emotions. Like that was the first place I learned how to express how I feel, because like I never cried. I never used to cry at all. I used to like never let myself feel emotion, because I didn't think I was supposed to as a man. And so like, but when the only way I had that outlet was through music, and I didn't even realize it. Like every once in a while, like when shit would build up, I'll just make a sad ass song. So it would be that, and then I'll just go in and just have fun, and so all of it, like it was a point in time where I was like really like writing, like trying to get like songs like to get that structure. But once that became natural to me, I would just go freestyle, because I just feel like everything just comes out so much like more clean. But those are two different like sides of the art, like writing versus like recording off the top of the head. Top of the head, out the heart.
You ever heard of nerdcore? Would you consider yourself nerdcore? You ever heard of that phrase?
No, I heard it. I don't know what it is.
So one of our artists, Nick Mighty,
mm-hmm.
he raps strictly on anime and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put you on to him another time, but
I seen his name float around. I seen like little videos and clips on the den.
Yeah. He's hard as fuck.
He is.
But he always wondered how to categorize his music. He's like, And then one time we came across this video, this lady explaining nerdcore. I googled it. Apparently, it started like late '90s, early 2000s, and stuff like that. And it's basically any kind of music that goes to the category of like nerds and geeks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a genre that existed, I guess, 20 years now or something like that.
I just made one up. Watch this. It's weebcore, otaku core.
Is that what you would categorize yourself as?
I guess, but I make songs that are like regular too. So, but I do make a lot of weebcore music. A lot of, but I guess I could fit into that category. I'm a big ass nerd, so yeah. I'm still cool though.
So you've been rapping for like 10 years now. How much has the music changed? Or just the way rap works compared to from when you was first doing it for fun to where we're at now? Because like we talked about it earlier, and I first discovered you maybe 5-6 years ago at an Ugly God concert. So how much has stuff changed? Like even from that moment, because from that moment when I first saw you to now, the way that all rap has just changed, like from the internet, from being radio to the internet, underground, all that stuff. You've been around for a minute in this, so you've seen the changes.
Yeah, and just so people know what you're talking about. That show was Dope Basil. That was Dope Entertainment through a show at Art Basel, and I think that was 2016. And I had opened for Ugly God at that show. So from then, like, to now, or just like the whole process of how like my art has been like evolving and stuff like that. The first thing that pops in my head when you said like from fun, doing it fun, or to now, I feel like I'm still doing this shit for fun. Sometimes I forget, but it's stupid. But I'm still doing it for fun. That's why I started this, because I knew that I love it. It's fun. But I think the main thing that I seen change is, I think it's like how I grew as a person pursuing this. Like I've just become greater and greater as a person and feeling more free. And then I've also seen the skill level of the art just change, like as I keep working on my craft. Like I keep experimenting, I keep trying like new stuff, and I just keep getting better. I just keep getting better, and I don't really know, like I really don't feel that different now. I just know that the music is better and I'm becoming someone great.
So you would say you never really made adjustments to the shit. You just always been yourself and it just clicked.
Exactly.
So you never made the adjustment. You just followed and just kept having fun until it just clicked.
Exactly. I just kept having fun until like it clicked. And it was like there was points where I realized, I feel like because I wanted to do something with it and not just like only just be creating, I still had to be intentional about things. I feel like there was always a point where when I was trying to figure out how do I get to that next level, because I always was, even though I was having fun, I always was like, yo, I'm learning how to get to the next level. Like when X and Ski and everybody was going nuts, like doing underground shows in 2015, 2016, I was going to all those shows having fun, but I was watching and learning, because like you could see when something's happening. You could see when people have like a mindset, an energy that's just like authentic and like growth. You can see that shit happening. So there's always a point, back on what I was saying, there's always a point where you realize I'm not doing enough, or shit, I gotta do more in this way and whatever. And once they see that, I remember feeling like almost not really discouraged, but just like, whoa, this is gonna take more than I thought. Like more of like effort, commitment, consistency, or whatever. But every time I realized that, I was way closer than I was before, and I just freaking did it. I did what I knew I would have to do, and then there was the next point. Damn, I'm not doing enough. I got to do this, and that, and then I did that, and then it was like, damn, I got to start like meditating and like learning myself and like just like becoming like a more like whole person, just like so that I can handle like whatever comes, right? So I can become more effective as a person, and then I would do that, and then it's like, damn, I gotta learn about, and then as I kept doing that, every time I hit that limit, it's like some anime character shit, like plus ultra, like surpass your limits, like on some Black Clover type shit. Like when I hit that, there was so much growth, and I was that much closer. And then before I knew it, it was like there was the one that made everything click. It was like, oh, click, and I still feel like I'm going through that. Like it's like I just feel like it's like this type of growth, like an ebb and flow, just a growth, but it's growing in a certain direction because I've kept that focus, and I didn't ever give up. I'm still not giving up. There's still places I want to be, but I'm learning more and more to like appreciate where I am right now.
So, what was it like when you saw like the attention Jojo pose was getting? Because that was the change. That was a pretty big change,
Bro, it just blew my mind. I was like, oh wow, stuff is happening. Like I felt it coming, but I was like, oh whoa. I remember being in class just like like what? I was like almost confused, but I couldn't be because I saw it coming, like I created it. So I'm just like, oh shit. And then I feel like I'm still so grateful for that song and the process that's coming on, but it made me like look into myself and see like, cause I almost like I realized like I almost thought to myself that it was gonna like that number success or whatever was gonna bring me happiness, and I really realized that it doesn't. It was like I was like, oh, I'm still me, I'm still here. Like I still have the same traumas from before, and the same things that bring me joy, and it still feels good to breathe and relax and play video games, and it's still annoying when somebody touches on my insecurity and I get triggered. Like I'm still a fucking human being. So that's what it made me realize, and it made me realize like after like all this like so much attention, so much like positive stuff and negative stuff, but like each of them was like from people, each of them affected my pride, and then basically the biggest thing I learned from that shit, like man, I can't be anchored in pride. I need to focus on love, like loving myself and like expanding from there. So that shit helped me focus on love. For sure.
Like, how did that whole thing build up? You don't know, or it just happened? Or
like the actual like
rise
the
of coming
JoJo
up,
post?
yeah, the rise in the JoJo
Bro,
post.
I was on TikTok. I read a book by Gary Vee called Crushing It, and it suggested to get on Musically because it's evolving. And then I looked up Musically and found out it was TikTok. I was like, bet, I'm hopping on this shit. So I'm making TikToks every day. And then my page starts to grow. For some reason, I was making random ass TikToks, but when I would make anime TikToks, it would go up. So I kept making more anime shit. And I was like, okay. Then I seen a couple people do JoJo poses, like poses from the anime JoJo's Bizarre Adventure to like different songs. And then I was like, okay, I know what you need. I know what you're looking for. I got you. I love JoJo, and I know what you need. I can make that shit. So I made it, and I put it on there. I put it on TikTok, and the people that came to my page loved it, tagged other influencers on the app, and then they started doing the challenge, and then that shit just grew across anime TikTok. And then once it grew across anime TikTok, TikTok made it super trend on the discovery page and gave it a hashtag. And then now it was hashtag posted this, and now that hashtag has like 2 billion views. So like, it was just like when they did that, when they made it a hashtag, that's when I was like, oh shit, because I was literally watching the numbers like, oh, like I'm talking about like in minutes, like 30 million, like 35 million, like 60 million. 70. I'm was just going back to my phone checking. I'm like, bro, this shit is growing. Like, that's a million, bro. What the heck? So I was just like, I was just shocked. But that's how I grew. Like, it was like deliberate, but it was also natural. Like because I was like, I know what you want, and I'm gonna make it so you can do it. But I ended up designing something for collaboration, designing something that people could create with, and that's why I feel like the song did so well. That and the fact it was a fire song that I really knew what I was talking about when I was talking about the anime.
Yeah.
And it ended up reaching, like, once it spread across TikTok, got to like other sides, people that don't even know about anime dancing to the song, making like videos to it.
Would you say TikTok's your favorite social media platform that's out there right now? How do you feel about social media and the role it plays in all of this?
I think social media is one of the best things to happen to the world. There's like pros and cons to everything, but I think like, bro, it gave the artist so much power in some ways, in a lot of ways, because before that, what you gonna have to do? Like, maybe get discovered by a label and then maybe they distribute your shit like in a store or whatever. Like, even like, for example, you could put your music on like DistroKid, right? And you have your shit on all platforms for so low, but DistroKid was probably running ads on social media for people to find out about that shit. Like, it just made everything more connected via the internet. Like, I almost feel like the internet added another like nervous system to humanity, and then like to like connect everything, and then social media was like the social aspect of that. And I think that's the most one of the most important things about humanity, like community. We just can't get lost in that shit. So I think it's like the best thing. It helped me a lot. Would I say TikTok's my favorite? I love TikTok. I don't know if it's my favorite. It did a lot for me though. I like using my top 3. My favorite 3 is TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. That's really what I like using.
Were you ever on Tumblr and stuff like that, or?
I wasn't really big on Tumblr. I was looking nasty shit in Tumblr back when they had it on there. That's what I used it for. That's what I used it for back in the day.
So, you just graduated recently, right?
Yeah. I graduated yesterday.
Good job.
I graduated college.
How'd that feel?
It feels good, bro. I feel so much at peace. Because I feel good about it because I majored in entrepreneurship. So I really feel like it really helped me look at like my music as a business. And just, I wouldn't be here without that. But I feel really relieved because I'm like, okay, now I can really put my whole 100%, 1000% like just in me and the music and connecting with people.
So is that what you're going to do with the degree? Just keep focusing on the music?
Hell yeah. Just keep building the business.
Yeah, that's dope. Because I know...
Creating.
Because I was peeping, like, even throughout, like, all the viral shit, all the other shit, you just kept going. You was just still, like, on your bullshit. Like, you was still posting your school stuff. You was still posting, like, everything. You was posting the school you was going to, all that. And I thought that was really cool. That was very different because there's a lot of... I've seen a lot of rappers that they're in college while they're doing their stuff, and as soon as, like, they go viral, they just bounce and continue on their music career. But you kept going. You got your degree.
I fucking finished, bro.
You got your degree, and now from now it's just focus on your music. So that's different. Instead of just dropping out and then doing the music, you let your shit ride. You had your fun, and you still about to do what you love.
Exactly.
So that's very, very different.
Mm-hmm. And I think, and it's purposeful too, because like first off, like for me feeling like I finished what I started, but other than that, like entrepreneurship, that was a new major they added to school like 2 years ago. 3 years ago maybe. Like that, I feel like that they really taught me some shit that I could learn and use. Like, people need to know that there's all types of avenues that, like, that's what worked for me might not be work for someone else, but just like let people see like a different perspective, different shit is possible. And then after that, like, I don't know, like if I'm in a position to help in a certain way, that piece of paper might help me build some credentials, especially as a black man in the United States. So I feel like it's just another thing to inspire people. Like, hey, there's all types of avenues, bro. Get it how you live, bro.
On while you was going viral and stuff, was like, because you obviously out in public and stuff before COVID and stuff on campus. Was there a lot of people that was recognizing you out in public, or?
Yeah, I remember going to Publix. So I'm like, you were Paulo Fresh? And I'm just like, yeah. And then it's so funny because she was so hyped. And then this is the first time something like this happened to me. Like, I seen people like behind her, like everybody's trying to look at like see who I am and shit like that. And I'm just like talking to this one person, but like in my like peripheral, I see like eyes. I'm like, and I'm just in Publix and shit like that. I'm like, okay. So like that's what made me kind of realize it was like real. But yeah, I was mostly in like during like this whole process, so I didn't really get like too many opportunities to be around people like that. But I definitely had some situations where people recognize me and all that.
Someone had told me to ask, what is the best anime to live in? If you had the choice to live in any anime world ever, what anime would that be? You can't do top 3 on this. This is just, it's the best one to live in. If you had to choose.
If I had to choose, hell no. She said Dr. Stone. Hell no, I'm not. That's scary, bro. That's scary. I feel alright. So I always felt like I would thrive in Hunter x Hunter's world, but that's a dangerous world though. That is that's too much. But I feel like I'll be a fire Nen user. Like I feel like I would definitely be a Nen master. No, people wouldn't be able to touch me. But damn. I really gotta think about this shit, bro. Okay.
It's a very serious question.
Okay. So I think I would be in that time I reincarnated as a slime. It's an anime. It's a isekai, and this guy.
That's the title of it?
Yeah, that's the title of the anime, and he basically dies and gets reincarnated as a slime in another world, and in the other world, he's just OP, but he gets to like.
What's a slime?
A slime, like you seen like a MMORPG. And
that
like,
literally sounded like it's like some rap shit to me. Like, be my slime. I was like,
yeah, it's like it's funny, but it's really just like a little slime thing, like a monster from like a MMO, like a RPG game, and then I'm pretty sure I'm reincarnated with my slime right now. I'm living that life right now, like. But basically, it's like supposed to be a low level monster, but he's just fucking like overpowered, and he just keeps growing and growing and growing. You're like, holy crap! So that's what I'll say. I'm not gonna choose a specific anime, but it would have to be an isekai. So I would just be like reincarnated in some world where like I talked to God first or something like that, and he was like, okay, like. I'm gonna give you back with some benefits, like what you want, and I'm gonna be like, I want this, that, and then boom, and then I'm in the world, and then like rebirthed and just like unlimitedly just growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. Like any isekai anime, put me in there. That's where I want to live. Yeah,
that should be catching you off guard. What did you think about the Demon Slayer movie?
Fire! Go watch it. It fire like. I want to cry right now thinking about that shit. It was so fucking deep, bro. I don't want to spoil anything, but it was just such a well done movie all around, bro. Cause you had your action, right? Shonen action, right? But then like the person who wrote Demon Slayer, he's like a master. Like he just talks about like deep knowledge, there's deep wisdom in there, right? The colors amazing, like the animation amazing, like the story amazing, like deep emotional plot, like real characters, like it just showed like the greatness of what like Demon Slayer and just anime in general can be. Like down to the ending, it's just like I saw it twice. I wanted to see it twice. I'm damn near about to go see it again. Like I'm just like shocked that the fact that it was a canon arc, a real like straight from the manga, and they put it into a movie. Like it was just one of the best movies like all time. Like anybody can go see that movie and see like the depth of work that went behind like that process. It was a good movie.
I'm gonna have to check that out now because that was a lot of passion in that response.
You go watch it because like. I want anime to keep growing. So more box office sales, the more the better.
Yeah, I mean, I've literally like Dragon Ball and Pokemon, closest thing to anime I've seen. So it's like I ain't grow up
Those
with
count.
TV, so I gotta like. I've wanted to watch anime just to like see what all the hype is about, but I just never had the time to do so. But everyone that I've surrounded, like Nick put me on, the passion I just seen you put on about anime, like what should I start with? So I literally only Pokemon as a kid and Dragon Ball as a kid, and then my uncles was getting like the Japanese releases before they was coming out here. So that's all I was watching as a kid.
Start with Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer?
Watch them. I don't always recommend this, but watch the movie and then watch what comes before. Like I usually try to watch like what comes before, but it's worth it. Watch the movie, then just watch everything that comes before. It's like one season. Because I think the reason why I recommend Demon Slayer because like it's if you're older, because we grown men, like there's real like wisdom that you can get from that shit. Like it's not completely like all play like it's good action, but it's also like emotionally in tune, and there's wisdom in it, like real wisdom. Like that's why in that song like Demon Slayer it's like meditate, total concentrate, breathe away, because like there's something in there called total concentration, but I'm like, bro, they teaching kids about meditation and this shit.
Yeah.
Like it's just real shit. So
y'all heard it straight from Apollo Fresh. Picked his brain a little bit. This is the Den. First interview podcast style. If you only a Jojo Pose fan, you gotta go deeper, because I've been following this man from the minute I seen him perform. Great artist, great energy. A lot more to come. A lot more collaborations together.
Yes,
you're gonna
sir.
see some crazy shit. Anything you want to tell the people?
love yourself, be yourself, and have fun. Make a change and start with yourself. New music on the way. I love you. Follow me, come fuck with me.
Jojo, pose, pose, pose. Jojo, pose, pose, pose.